Hi everybody, welcome back to my channel. Today I'm going to be doing my books read in October and my November TBR kind of smushed into one. I read 9 books in October, kind of. I cheated a little bit. I finished 8-ish. We'll get there. So first up, let's see. So if you remember from my last my last wrap-up video for September, I read most of The Pucking Wrong Number. I didn't love it, I didn't hate it. I changed my rating on it from, I think I put it at a 3. I changed it to a 2.5 because I thought about it and I liked it less, so whatever. So I'm kind of counting that in October as well because technically I finished it in October even though I started it in September. And I have another book like that is going to be included in the October-November wrap-up. You'll see though. The next book that I finished was Sinner by Sierra Simone. I read Priest like years ago. And then I listened to the audiobook of Sinner recently because I know the whole series is supposed to be good, but I think they kind of just get better. So I read that, I listened to that, I gave it a 3.75 out of 5 stars. I really liked it. I really enjoyed the narrators. It was mostly, I think, Jacob Morgan, and then there was a girl for like 2 seconds, but he mostly did the girl voice. I don't know why they didn't just make it like a duet, but whatever. So I liked that one a fair bit. I would recommend reading it. The third book I read was Two Twisted Crowns. We already know my thoughts and feelings on the Shepherd King duology. Is that what it's called? Anyways, One Dark Window and Two Twisted Crowns are like my only 5-star series to date. I loved it, loved the series, loved the world building, loved the characters. So my 4th book that I read and finished was Swift and Saddled by Lila Sage. I've talked about this and Done and Dusted on like to no end. I really like these books. I think they're such a good like quick little read. I think the stories are really good. I liked this one more than I liked Done and Dusted. I gave this one a 4 stars out of 5, obviously. I gave this one 4 stars. I really liked it. I love the covers. That's it. Lost and Lassoed comes out Tuesday. Election day. Go vote. Comes out Tuesday. So I will be picking that up, and that is on my November TBR. So, Swift and Saddled. So next, I actually read this on my Kindle, but I got the physical book because I had the second one in a physical copy, so I wanted the first one in a physical copy as well, because that would have bugged me if I didn't. Of the Pumpkin Spice Cafe. I gave this one a 3 stars. I think I'll leave it there. It was like so surface level, exactly what it says on the back. Like, if you're looking for something where you kind of don't have to think a whole lot, like you don't have to put a whole lot of brain power into this book, then you might want to read this. I thought it was good. It was just basic. It was basic. There's really not a whole lot more to it. Yeah, if you like Gilmore Girls, it is like way not as like witty and like bantery as Gilmore Girls, but if you kind of like the vibe, the small town romance kind of vibe, then I'd give this a read. Don't expect a whole lot from it though, because it's not gonna give it. It's giving surface level. Oh, I gave that a 3 stars. I can't remember if I said that. I gave that 3 stars. So another 5-star read. This was a good month for like 5-star reads. I read Phantasma by Kylie Smith. I initially didn't give this 5 stars because I was like, I don't want to be too hasty with my 5 stars, but I loved this book so much. And to be honest, my rating system is not anything like terribly like, oh, I put so much thought. It's like, it's just based off of like vibes, to be honest. How did I feel reading the book? Did I really enjoy the story? Was it really gripping? Was I like totally invested? Stuff like that. And maybe this might not be everybody's 5 stars, although I've heard really, really good things about this from other people. It was a 5-star for me. So I'm very much looking forward to the second book. I can't remember when it comes out next year, maybe April, but definitely one of my more anticipated reads for next year. Anyways, I gave this 5 stars. Loved this, loved Blackwell. I loved Ophelia. I loved her sister. Her sister's kind of like crassness and just like, you know, I mean, she's not in it like a ton, but the scenes that we get with her, I think are really great. And I loved Blackwell. I don't know, I just loved the whole story, the world building, the trials. I loved all of it. So very excited for Enchantra, I believe is the next one. I'm very excited for that one to come out. And I would very highly recommend this one. So where I cheated a little bit on reading 9 books. It's taken me forever to read the Throne of Glass series. I have not gotten into it the same way as I got into her other series, Crescent City and ACOTAR. It just really has not, and I think I need to read it again a little closer together because something about it is just not hitting for me. So I think I need to read the books closer together. I think it's taken me too long. Anyways, where I cheated a little bit, I started the tandem read a very long time ago. Maybe not like a crazy long time ago, but I started it, I want to say 2 years ago, I started the tandem read. Maybe not that long. Anyways, the tandem, which is, if you don't know, Empire of Storms and Tower of Dawn. The 6th and 7th book, 6th and 7th books. I gave Empire of Storms a 3.5 out of 5. I didn't like this one as much as I liked Tower of Dawn. And I think I might be one of very few people to say that they liked Tower of Dawn so much. Like, I gave this a 4 stars. Like, I really enjoyed this book. And I'm not a huge, like, Chaol fan at all. Like, I think he definitely has his faults, but I think his character growth in this book is, like, so much better than any kind of growth that we're getting from any of the other characters. Like, I think something that's so hard for me about Throne of Glass is that it's very quick. Like, all of this has happened in the span of a year, I believe. It just like, something about it just does not click for me. It's like, I can't believe, and I know it's fantasy, and I will say this about any other fantasy book, like, it doesn't have to be believable because it's a fantasy book. But something about it is not clicking with me, that like all of what's happened so far has happened within a year. I don't know. Anyways, so I liked that we got like Lorcan in the lead. I really liked that. I thought the ending was really good. The last maybe 100 or so pages, but of course it's a Sarah J. Maas book, so the last 100 or so pages are always gonna be like everything is happening at once. I just felt like this book was slow for me. It took a lot for me to want to jump back into this. I don't know why I found it so much harder to get back into this one. This one, however, I did not have a whole lot of trouble getting through, and I was kind of looking forward to my chapters where I would switch back to this one in the tandem. I do think, however, if I had read them separately, I would have finished it a whole lot sooner than I finished it now. Like, I probably would have finished this way back if I just read them individually, but I also probably would have struggled. Actually, I don't know if I would have struggled through Empire of Storms as much. I don't know if I would have liked it more. I don't know. I think the times that I'm reading these books, I think it might not be like the right time. I need to reread them. I need to be more in the headspace of wanting to read them. I think I started it after I finished ACOTAR, and maybe a little before I finished Crescent City, or maybe it was after I finished the first Crescent City book. I don't remember. So it's like I was coming off the tail end of those, and I really loved both of those books, and I really related to those characters a lot more than I have ever related to Aelin. So I don't know, something about it just doesn't click for me. I'll have to revisit it later and read them again, but yeah, it just was not clicking as much. Anyways, that was a long-winded way of saying I enjoyed them. I'm gonna finish this. I have one book left, which we'll get to also, but I enjoyed them. Another instance of me kind of cheating in the 9 books. I'll grab it. I read like 90% of Binding 13. If I had literally just sat down for another 2 hours, I could have finished it. But I didn't. I finished it yesterday on November 1st, which was so like, so bummy. I hate doing that. I hated doing it with the fucking wrong number. I hated doing it here. But I'm counting this book in October because I read the majority of it in October, and I'm gonna count it in November because I finished it in November. But I make the rules, so nobody can tell me otherwise. Anyways, I also gave this one a 5-star. Something about this, I was so, like, it didn't take me a long time to read it, but it felt like the chapters were so long. Oh my God, the chapters were so long. But I usually have such an issue with long chapters, like, it really discourages me from reading the book. I love short chapters. Didn't care at all. I'd flip to the next chapter on my Kindle and it'd say 35 minutes. Didn't care. Not even a little bit. I loved this book so much. I really love Johnny. I mean, they're like teenagers. They have their flaws for sure. I just love them though. I don't know what it is about them. And oh my God, I love Gibbsy. Gibbsy is so funny. Like, there were times, I think it was in the beginning when he was talking about something. I think he was maybe teasing Johnny. No, was he teasing Claire? I can't remember who he was teasing. He was teasing somebody and I was literally like laughing. I never laugh with books. I'm not a very like reactive person. Like, I'm just not. This made me laugh. So, don't get me wrong. There's some really dark, the way this ends, oh my God. I actually did cry too. That's another thing. I don't really cry with books. I don't really laugh with books. I was laughing, I was crying. I love this book so much. I gave this 5 stars. Getting into the second part of this video, which is my November TBR. I have a few books on here that I either don't have right now or I'm gonna read on Kindle or, something like that. Yeah, one book that I'm gonna read on Kindle Unlimited, and then a book that I just don't have yet because it's not out yet. I am such a mood reader that really my TBRs are more like guidelines. It's not really, it's like, these are books that I might want to read this month. And usually I'll read, like, let's see, how many of these were on my TBR? 1 or 2. I think 1 or 2 of my October books were actually on my TBR. The others, mood reading. What can I say? Anyways, so I'm hoping to get to the Cinnamon Bun Bookstore and continue the Dream Harbor series. Is that what it's called? Yeah, the Dream Harbor series. I also have the 3rd book, The Christmas Tree Farm, but I'm saving that one for October I'm saving that one for December for obvious reasons. But I'm gonna try and read this one. I hope I like it. I mean, the other one was like fairly mid for me, so this one's probably also gonna be kind of mid for me. But it's gonna hopefully be an easy read. It's not very long. What is this, like 345 pages. This is not very long. So hopefully I should be able to finish it fairly quickly because I've got some bigger books on this list as well. So next on my list, these are not in any kind of order either, and this is kind of ambitious if I do end up reading all of them. Kind of is, kind of isn't. Kind of is, kind of isn't. You'll see them. So the next book on my TBR is Kingdom of Ash. This book is massive. I think it's 900 and something pages. Oh, this is so dangerous looking at the end. Okay, just look at the numbers. Okay, 980 pages. This is almost 1,000 pages. It's a heavy book. I do love how floppy it is though. I feel like the other ones were not as floppy. But I'm hoping to get to this soon so I can finish the series and say that I finished it, because I feel like a big fraud because I've not finished the series and it's been a very long time. Next, and I've already started this one. I literally like just started it though, so it's not like I'm very far into it, is The Naturals by Jennifer Lynn Barnes. This is kind of like kids in the it's not kind of like, it is like kids in the FBI. The kids are like just naturally, like they're kind of naturally gifted at like reading people and stuff like that. I'm really not that far into it and I try not to read the back. I've just heard like kind of vague descriptions from other people, and I've heard a lot of people really like this series, so I'm looking forward to this one. I'm really not very far in, so can't really tell you much more about this. Next, I have 2 graphic novels in here. I might add more so I can kind of beef up my Goodreads goal. I'm really trying to get close to 100 books. I'm not even close right now. I have, let's see, 31 books. I've read 31 books this year. That's because like the whole, up until September, I read like nothing. I read 1 book a month, apart from 1 month where I didn't read anything. So I really like stepped it up recently, but I don't know if I don't think I'm gonna get to 100 books unless I pull some kind of miracle out of my ass, and read like graphic novels and stuff. But it still counts as reading because they're books. So I was talking about graphic novels. I have a couple. I might add more depending on how fast I finish these and how fast I'm getting through some of my books. But to begin, we have oh, hello. We have what is this, the 4th? Yeah, the 4th volume of the Lore Olympus series. I read a lot of this when it was coming out on Webtoon, but I remember almost nothing. So I think up until the 6th one, I have the 4th and the 5th one, and then I think the 6th one just came out and I want it in the like paperback because they have to match. But I actually, I really like these. I really like this series, so I'm going to be continuing it, and they're a pretty quick read. Hopefully I can kind of drag myself closer to my Goodreads reading goal. We'll see though. The next book and the second graphic novel is, I've actually already read it. I read it this morning. It didn't take me long. Actually, that's not true. I started it last night and I finished it this morning, and that is Heartstopper by Alice Oseman. She put crack in these books. She put crack in these books. She put crack in these books. This was so good. And it's not even, it's just so simple. It's so simple and it's so good, and the story's really good. I am like kicking myself for not getting like there's like a 4-volume box set. I'm kicking myself for not getting that, but oh well. Read this. I'll probably honestly get the second one and read that too. We'll see how far I go with that, but love this. This is gonna be my wrap up again, so I'll give you more thoughts, maybe, probably not. I love this so much. So up next, in honor of the movie coming out this month, we have Wicked. I'm gonna try my hardest to read this. I don't know if I'm gonna get to it, to be honest. I don't really have the motivation to get to it, or not to get to it, but to open it up, other than I kind of want to read it before the movie comes out. Yeah, I'm so excited for the movie. I really want to get to this though, and I've heard it's really good. I'm gonna try my best. I'm gonna try my best to get to it. We'll see how it goes though. Moving on. So I read Binding 13. I'm gonna try to read Keeping 13. I don't have that one. I'm just gonna read it on Kindle. I'm gonna try and read that one this month as well. But I'm trying not to like burn myself out too quickly on the series because I read that one pretty fast. So I don't want to like go into the next book full steam and then really get burnt out, or like read those two and then can't finish the series. Whatever. I'm gonna read that one as well, hopefully. Fingers crossed. Did I mention Lost and Lassoed? I don't think I did. That's another one I don't have yet. No, I did. It was election. I said it was election day. I'll shut up. So my last book, let's see, my 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. My 9th book is Iron Flame by Rebecca Yarros. I read the first one, loved it. I got like maybe a couple chapters into this one, wasn't really feeling it, and I don't remember a single thing that I read. So I'm gonna try and read this again. She's a bit bigger, she's a big girl, so hopefully I can finish this month. If not, it'll get finished by the end of the year, hopefully. I need to finish this before I read, obviously before I need the next one, but I'm gonna try and read the next one when it comes out, so I don't just have it sitting on my shelf doing nothing, like this one is doing. So I'm really gonna try to challenge myself to read one nonfiction book a month. If we get to do more than that, that's great. If not, oh well. But my book of the month for this month, or my pick of the month, I guess I should say, for my nonfiction book is When Women Ruled the World by Cara Cooney. This is about the 6 queens of Egypt. I love like archaeology and stuff. I love all those little archaeology shows and stuff. I especially love Egypt, like Egyptology, all of it. So definitely want to get to this one. And it's about women ruling the world, so why would I not want to read it? I'm hoping I can get to this one as well. I'm gonna try and prioritize getting to this one over some other books. But it doesn't seem too bad. It seems like it might be interesting. That was my October wrap up and November TBR. I hope you enjoyed watching it. If you've read any of these books, or if you want to read any of these books, let me know down below. I'd love to hear your thoughts on them, or if you're excited to read them too, if you have some of the same books on your TBR. So thank you for watching, and I'll see you guys in the next one.